Okay, I think Aditesh already told you that in Navision, uh, the language used is CAL, which the full form of which is Client Application Language, and it's object based. Okay, so basically, I'll just tell you the difference between the object oriented and object based. Object oriented uses all the OOPS terminology, but in object based, we do not have inheritance, we do not have polymorphism. Okay, so this is one difference, and the another difference is in object oriented we do not have any built-in objects. Okay, but in our Navision we have all built-in objects. I think you guys have seen. Hello. Okay, and I'm just sharing with TeamViewer. I sent you all the TeamViewer ID. Just let me know when you guys are in. I think all of you are in now. So we have these many type of built-in objects, and actually these objects fulfills all requirement of Navision, almost all. Okay, so I'm not going to tell what these objects do, but basically you know for data presentation, you know which objects are used. I'm already recording. Okay, I'm recording it. So basically these are the total objects. I'm not going to explain all, but I just want to know, do you know for data presentation which type of objects are used? Hello. Yeah, there was a disconnection in between. Now I think you can hear me. Okay, tell me if you don't hear it properly. I'll try to change the network. So we were on the objects. There are around five objects, and these all fulfills the almost all purposes for Navision. Okay, so I was asking you that do you know what is used for data? Which type of object is used for data presentation? Data presentation, I mean to no pages and reports. Basically, table we do not give end user to run the tables directly. Okay, we do not give them right to like change the data or something like that. So basically for data presentation uh, pages and reports are used. Okay, hello. Uh, I think you guys are not getting my voice continuously. You can see my screen. No, you can't. I think I need to change the network. Just give me 1 second. I'll try to connect to some other network. Hello. Are you guys hear me now? Actually, I changed the network, but let's see how it works. Okay. So we were talking about data presentation, and pages and reports are used for data presentation, and for storing the data, tables are used. Okay. So I can say main purpose of the cal programming is data manipulation, like adding new data, or transferring the data from one table to another. You know, we create the journals, and if we post them, it will be transferred to the ledger entries. Any idea? Okay. So we can write, actually the programming, as I told you, is cal programming, which is client application language, and we can write the code on almost all objects, not all, most of them. Okay. So basically, initially I'll start with the code unit. So actually, code unit is only used for the programming. Okay. So suppose I will create one code unit, and we can write the codes here. This portion is called cal editor. Okay. And this is for the code unit. But if you want, suppose if you want to write the code on table, you know about this object designer. This area is called object designer. Okay. And you can design objects, all objects from here. So code unit, you can directly open the cal editor when you press design. Okay. Or if you want to create, you have to press new, and you can save it. Okay. But for tables, you need to go to design and view cal code, or you can directly use the F9 key shortcut for that. Okay. uh, let's start with the code unit. So code unit is basically for programming, like if you want to create some job, you can directly write code in a code unit, and you can call it from any other objects. Okay, so you can see, you know about the triggers. They, basically there are three type of triggers in Navision. First is documentation trigger. This is used for documentation, like you created this function on this date and the purpose of it. Okay, then comes the event triggers. So event triggers is in code unit, the event trigger is on run trigger. Okay, so like if you run this code unit, the code on run trigger will be executed. Okay, and there are some more event triggers, if you are aware of. In table, if you see, on each field you have two event triggers, on validate and on lookup. And all the event triggers start with on. Okay, and you know when this on validate is fired, any idea? I'll take one example. Suppose you are on currency table. I need to add Luis. I'll tell you when the table two triggers, on validate and on lookup, are fired. Actually, I'm just running the RTC, it is not directly connecting. I'm not a user actually. Yes. So when you press, assist edit, assist edit button, that three dots, I will open and then tell you. So when you suppose you are on some sales order and you want to select some customer, so you will click on that lookup button or that assist edit button, and it will open the available users in the system, in the database. Okay, and this is the on lookup. And on validate is like if you type something on that customer, and suppose that customer does not exist in the system, you will get some runtime error. I will show you when my RTC is connected. But are you guys using trainee 8 database for the training? Okay, okay, so you are using your separate database, but I think the training happens on some error. Okay, but I'm just running it, but it says I'm not the active user. So, and even I do not have SQL rights. I will add my name from directly from the SQL. I will ask actually my colleagues who has rights. I'm just waiting for RTC to open. So you got my point. Like validate means when you type in certain field, okay, if you write in certain field, then the trigger fires. So suppose you want to select a customer, you type some customer, and if I suppose I write wrong customer, it will give error. So that time the validate trigger is fired. We'll check that. I hope it should work now. Okay, meanwhile we'll discuss about the data types. Data, what type of data types used in Navision. Okay, you know data types? Any guesses? Yeah, yeah, it will be like C, C++, or everywhere we have the data types. Okay, so we have the, so we can have data types like text, integer, option. What we'll do, we'll create one code unit and see. So if we go to view and calc globals, we can define the variables here. Okay, and these are the global variables. Global, what I mean, global means suppose I have certain functions in this code unit. So global variable is used everywhere inside this code unit. So once I am inside the code unit, the global variable is accessible. Okay, so we were talking about the data types. Data types, you can see we can go to view and globals, and we can define the variables here. And suppose I take some integer variable, suppose some index. Okay, so here you will find the data types. Okay, these many are the data types available in the Navision, and these are the simple data type and advanced, all type of data types you will get it here. And you will find small description of all in the PDF file. You know the PDF file for the cal programming? Hello. Okay, so you have the hard copies. Okay, so chapter number 4 will be the cal programming initial guideline, which will talk about this many variables. But right now I'm not going to explain each and every variable, but we will talk about few variable and their examples. Okay, so few main data types are, you can see, uh, integer. So integer is basically it will restore the numbers, only numbers, and the initial value of integer is 0. Okay, and if you talk about text, so the initial value of text is blank. Okay, and you will find many other types like big text. This is for text is, suppose if you select text, you can select a length here, like text of what size, 10, 20, 30, or you can restore up to 1024. If you take a text of size bigger than 1024, it will give you error. Okay, but big text does not have that issue. If you want the text bigger than 1024, you can use the big text. Okay, so right now we have discussed about integer, text and big text, and decimal. You know, decimal will have the decimal values, and the initial value of a decimal is also a 0. Okay, so these are four data types. Today we will talk about few more. One is code. Code is also type of text. Okay, but it will have all the alphabets in uppercase. Okay, so this is, you can say, this is a special type of text. The only difference is it will be in uppercase. And suppose you have some like suppose suppose you have this in text, you assign this value in text, then if you assign the text into a code, it will be converted it like this. Okay, so did you get the main difference between the code and text? And one major one more important difference is, suppose you have this value, in start you have a space, and at the back you have a space. So it will remove the leading and trailing spaces in code. So only this is the difference between the code and text. And it will actually, both text and code will support Unicode. Unicode, by Unicode I mean that it will take any character from any character set which is supported by the Windows. So that is basically called Unicode. So it will take any, like anything, comma, dot, anything, or any other character. Okay, so we discussed about text, code, integer, decimal, and now we'll talk about boolean. Boolean is for true and false, and initial value of a boolean variable is false. Okay, or if you talk about numeric terms, boolean false means 0. Okay, let's see some other. Then comes the date. If you I will just connect to some with some other user. Yeah, it's the same actually. I can change there also, but okay. You mean here? I think problem with the password. Okay, so I hope it will run. Actually, I didn't run it before the training. I didn't try. So this is, I hope, the trainee 8. So we were talking about the data types. So data types are basically important because it indicates how the application is going to handle the data, and different data types will have a different type of values. Like we already discussed few data types. So we have some numeric data types which we already discussed, like integer. This is a numeric. The initial value of an integer is 0. Then comes the decimal. So basically the initial value of decimal will be 0. And there is one more big integer, that is for big values, as we discussed for the integer and text and big text difference. So big integer is also for the bigger values. Yeah, this actually, I will tell you, for complex data types, like suppose you want a record. We have right now I'm talking about the numeric data types, okay. But if I talk about the complex data type, we have many type of complex data type. Suppose we have a record, record is record is for the table, okay. Suppose customer is table 18. So I have to type customer here, uh, like I want to create a record variable for customer table. So this is a record variable, okay. So basically for this, or if we use some other further automation or some other, then it will be used. Or suppose this is a report, you want to take a variable of report. Suppose you want to create a code unit variable, then that is also a complex data type. Got my point? So these are the normal variables, simple variables, but these are the complex variables. We'll come on that, okay. but but these are the numeric data types in Navision: integer, amount, decimal, and big integer. And there is one more option, okay. Option variable is like I will show you for example. This is a, I'm not going to explain this what is this, but this is a normal sales order, and we have a field type, okay. Type means if I'm creating a sale order, I can sell item or resources or fixed asset. So you can see these values. So basically this is a option field, okay. So similarly we have an option variable which I am telling you, which is also a numeric data type, and it starts from 0. So value of blank, if you select blank, it means integer value is 0. If you select GL account, it is 1, okay. So this is option, and this is also a numeric variable. And then we have one more one more data type, which is a character. which is also a type of numeric. Okay, this is a single it is also a numeric data type, and it can have values between 0 to 255, and I will explain you these data types, then you will understand. Okay, this is just I just told you about the numeric data types. Then today we will talk about the string data types. Okay, so string data types are, as I told you, text. This is a string data type, and I told you the size cannot be more than 1024. If you want bigger size, then you need to select big text, 1000 more than 1024. And then we talked about code. Code is also a type of special type of text, which is in uppercase, if you remember. Okay, so these are the string data types. So let's focus on these first, and then we will continue with the other data types. Okay, so this is just simple small single line coding I'm explaining you today. We will take few examples. I have that on my another screen. I'll copy from there. So today we will take these few data type examples, so that it will be much clear for you. So I am taking example as per the PDF, so that it will be easier for you to understand. uh, in the PDF they have okay, so we will take few variables. So now I just want to talk about the variable names. Okay, so you can define any character in the variable name, but it will be always good if the variable name starts with some capital alphabet. Suppose you want to define a variable of type amount, a type of type decimal, so you should write amount like this. So it should, if you can define it like this, but if you take like this, then and you write it like this, you will get an error. This is actually this is not a right way to define the variable. It should be always understandable, like if you want some amount to be calculated, it should be amount, or it should be written like this. It will not give any error, but this is a good practice, like the variable should give the clear reason of defining it. Okay, so we will talk about these few variables which we already discussed. So I will define one variable of type integer. You can select, or you can, if you type it and press tab, it will automatically take. Okay, and then amount of type decimal, and we'll take one option. Suppose it is, I think in the example it is color. I'll take the same. Okay, option variable, as I showed you it in example, it was blank and item and something like that. So for color, we should define what will be the value of this option. So suppose I will define red. So 0 means red, We will see what this option value means. Okay. uh, and one more character I'll take, of type character. Okay, I can in numeric data types I need not to define the length. Okay. So there is one built-in function. Okay, like if you want to print something, there is a built-in function in Navision which is one sec please. So I told you message is a built-in function. Suppose if you run this code unit, okay, so you want to print something. So now I want to print, I have defined 4 variables, so I want to print these variables. Okay, I am actually, this is this %1 means the first value, and the %2 means the second value after this comma. So you can define n number of percentages. Okay, so this is we will come to this point later more, but this is a built-in function, and if you run this code unit, it will print this line. Okay, and this 1 will be replaced by this loop number. Why I kept it in semicolon? Because this is a constant value. Okay, like I will, when I will run, you will come to know. And loop number. Okay, similarly I have defined 4 variables. I will change with those names. I am giving the same caption. If I type like this and I save it and come back to this code, it will automatically take whatever I have declared, like C as capital, okay, in the value. You know saving of any object? Do you have any idea how to save the object? Hello. Yeah, control S, and it will ask you for the ID and the name. Okay, and our license allow us to save objects from 50,000 range to 9999. Okay, this is a range for the developers. So if we create any new object, any new table, page or code unit, we have to save in this range. Okay, I have seen you guys have created many objects, so you are aware of it. So I created this code unit 1, and I this is trainee 8. Yeah, Luis, it's you. So so where Shashin gave you? I don't know actually. I didn't ask them actually. So I should use trainee 10. Okay, but before that I want to take my code unit. You know how to take this? If I want to I want this object in many in my any other database, I need to go to file and export, and I will save it on the desktop with defining code unit 50,000. Luis, this is also not working. You remember where Shashin gave the training? Actually, it's my mistake. I didn't ask them, where are you giving the training? Something is opening, but let me check. I have to check the SQL rights and all after this training. I'll just check one time. But I have exported that object from trainee 8, and I want to import it to this database. So I need to go to file, import, and I will select the code unit. And whenever I import any object, I'll I will not select yes, otherwise it will directly replace the object. If any, suppose I already have some object with 50,000, so I should press no, and you can see it is creating. Otherwise, if I have some other object with 50,000, it will show the replace. Okay, let's see if I can run. uh, do you think any time Aditesh or Sachin has run the object directly from the this designer? Any guesses? Okay, so only for me it is giving error, I don't know. Actually, it just have to print those messages. We'll try with this link. I'm not even able to copy paste. Or I can do one thing just to show how this code unit runs. What I will do, I will attach this code unit to some page. You just don't bother about it. I will just add it. I will add some action. Who is trainee 5? Hello. Hello, Luis. I will actually. Trainee 5 is open. I will try to. Sorry for the inconvenience, but I don't have any option. I will try to import my object in trainee 5 and check. You can see here. Actually, I was running it directly from object designer, but it is not running. Even I think for this user also, trainee 5 also, it's not running directly. It will run now. I think no, there is some problem. I'll check this problem. But I attach the code unit to one page in some action. Okay, and now I will press this. It is equal to running it directly from the object designer. Okay, so you can see loop number is a integer. So the initial value of an integer is 0, as I told. The value of amount is also 0, initial value. For character, I think for character showing nothing, and the value of color is red. I told you we need to define the option string. This is the property of option string. If I define any option variable, suppose I need to define the option string. Okay, like here I defined red, blue, so it was showing red in my messages. So this is how we can print the values in Navision. Okay, this is about printing the initial values, but now I want to print the values which I assign. Okay, so we will take one by one. Suppose I want to print loop number. I want to assign suppose 10 value in an integer. Okay, it was printing 0 when it was when I was printing initial value, but when I print it with 10, it should print 10. It is not refreshed. Can you see this? The value of loop number is 10. So this is how we define a integer value. If you define suppose some text, you will get a compilation error. Okay, so you cannot define any, you can define correct value to a data item, otherwise you will get error. Okay, similarly you can assign the value to a amount and try to print. Okay, but I will take character and I will try to print the value. Suppose I want to assign some value in a character. You can see it is showing A. So if you check the ASCII value of A is 65. For capital A, ASCII value is 6. Okay, Or if you define just check what it gives. Okay, so you can see assigning a and assigning 55 is almost the same, because 50 oh, sorry 65 is the ASCII value of capital A. Then we are left with the color. So if I assign 1 and print, yellow, and let's see what we mentioned. So yellow is 1. Okay, also I can assign a value to a variable like this, like a name also, not only number. If I For compilation, you can press F11 key to check whether it is correct or not. Now not yellow, I will check some other number. Suppose blue. You can see it has printed blue. So basically we have covered numeric data types. So there are 4 types: integer, big integer, decimal, option and character. 5 types we have already discussed. Okay, and this message is a system built-in function. Okay, and this %1 and %2, I told you can take n number of %1, %2, %3, and it will define first value as a 1 and then 2. I'll just cover few more string data types, and then we will discuss more tomorrow. Okay, I will tell you what is the assignment. What does this see? This is a assignment operator. Like if I want to assign a value of something, this is called a assignment operator. Okay, so we will talk about few string variables, like let's see if I have something in the example. You can try whatever in the examples, like printing the variables and all. Okay, I'll just take random. Okay, so we can assign variables with the single quotes. Suppose I want to assign some value in some variable of type text, I have to mention it in single quotes. Okay, and the printing will be the same. Okay, and if I assign the same value in code field, code variable, which I have already set as code 1, I assign the same value in code 1, and let's see how it prints. See, you got the error. The text of the string is 10, but for the code it is 10 characters. So if you will, this is a runtime error. Now you know about two type of errors: compilation errors and runtime error. Runtime error, I am trying to assign 11 characters in a code, but I have mentioned the size of the code is as 10. Whenever you create a code, it takes 10 as a default, but you can increase it also. See, it has changed to caps, and if you have some spaces, it will remove the spaces. Okay, is this okay for now? Like you are clear with the string data types and numeric data types? We will use them tomorrow in next sessions actually. I'm not sure whether tomorrow or not, but this is like how we declare it and how we assign the values. So are you guys clear with the numeric and string data types? Okay, we will write the functions and other sort of things, how to use these variables, but this is basically how to declare it and how to assign them the values. So you have seen, if we assign wrong value, like the size is 10 but I was assigning 11, you will get the compilation errors. Okay, so there are certain system defined functions to check the string sizes and all, which we will cover in our next session, but this is basically about the main data types. One more data type I just want to talk about is boolean, which will be defined like this, and if you print it, the default value is I'll just print the value. In message, you have to take a text like this with the semicolons, and if you have a %1 in that, it will be considered the first value. Okay, see, yes and no it will return. So initial value of a boolean is no. If you assign true and print it, it will print true. So in future, when we write the code lines and we will assign true or false, it will return yes and no. Okay, few more small data types I just want to discuss today, so that we can better use them tomorrow. Now you know, you are not going to remember these numbers, how to pick these variables. You need to go to view and symbol menu, or shortcut is F5. So you will get all the variables whatever you mentioned or declared here, with some system defined functions or some system, you can see there you have added few, but there are many others. So these are system defined variables, so you need not to check the name again, you just need to select it like this. Okay, and why I was talking about a name nomenclature, suppose if you take loop number like this and you write like this, you will get a compilation error, because there should not be empty space in the variable name. And if you pick it from the symbol menu, this, it will be automatically in this. Okay, so it's better to not mention any special characters or any spaces in the variables or identifiers. Okay, it should be continuous and it should explain the purpose of it. Otherwise you need to use this quotes. Okay, two two more two more data types I just want to discuss today. one is date, and one is time. Okay, and I want to show you the initial value of these. I am defining both in the same message window, so I just added add and time here. So it's because I have not assigned anything to it, so it is giving nothing. But now initial value is, actually this is the initial value of a date, and 0t is the initial value of a time variable. Okay, but suppose now I want to see, suppose I want to assign, let's see it works or not. For assignment of any date we need to write d at the end. Okay, you can see, so this is showing the correct value. I mentioned it, I hard coded it actually, but I can also assign, maybe this is not in the manual, but maybe if I want to print today's date, if I write today, it will print today's date. Okay, you can see this. But if I want to write, and Navision allows date from 0101 0012 9999 years, December 31st 9999. Okay, even I can also few more functions are there with the time, but date, but I will use it with the next session. And similarly, for the time you need to mention 0t or whatever the time you want to mention. Okay, there are we have talked about the uh, numeric data types, string data types, and date and time. Tomorrow we will discuss about the complex data types, and also many more examples. So do you have some queries for now? Hello. Yeah, you can see this is this is a text constant. I told you the text constant we have to take. Actually, if one more thing, now you want to know how this message works, so you have a help, you need to go to help developer at this, and you will write the message. It will tell you what this message function does. Okay, so now you can read, message displays a text string in a message window, string and values. Okay, so this in single quotes which I wrote, the value of %1 is %2, it means this I mentioned in a string, and then I have mentioned the values. Okay, so and you can see this is the optional value, they have written it value 1 dot dot, so you can mention n number of values. Also you can read the help, and you will get example also. You can see they have uh, they have taken two variables, text and number. They have assigned these two, text and some number, and then actually we should I will tell you a proper example. We should not write the value in like this. This is not how we are going to follow, but this is a small example, so I took it. Whatever the string we want to take, we need to define a text constant for it. I have not covered text constant, but it should be like this: text constant. And I should I should define a text constant and this value. Okay, and then it should be like this. This is a proper programming guideline. Otherwise it's not good to type a text, because if you write in this, it will be only printed in English. But because you are working, this my database is a Swedish database and client is going to use the Swedish language, so they will not understand what means. They will understand, but this is not the right way. For multi-language, we need to define the text constants. Similarly, we need to go to cal globals. Here we define the variables. The next tab is for text constants, and we need to mention it like this. Okay, and %1 will always take the first value. And you can check the example in the help file. Okay, and if any doubts, you can ask me. But you were asking about the %1. Anything else? Hello. Nothing. This %1 and %2, you just we will discuss more while doing the programming. Like, this is a system defined function message. Similarly, we have a system defined errors, and everywhere we need to use these type of text constant with %1 and %2. Like, percent, if suppose you want to print 10 things, 10 text, so you need to %1, %2, and so on. Okay, and for the multi-language, it's better to define the text constant. And if you go to view properties, you can see everywhere, even you when you are defining a table field, you have the constant value and constant value ml. You have any idea of this ml? Yeah, yeah. And you can go to, you can F6, or you can go assist edit it, and you can select as many number of languages. So suppose I don't know the Swedish. Sorry, Luis, if this is wrong. I think not. I think this is wrong, but I will show you the difference between it. I define something in Swedish, and and we will print in Swedish. So we will change the language in RTC. Can you see the change? So it's always good to not hardcode the message string. It is good to define in text constant. So now, like, if you run in any language, you will find the messages in the same language. Okay, any more queries? Okay, we will take, see, this is just introductory class about the data types. We will talk about some complex data types tomorrow, and then we'll see the purpose of the variables, why we are assigning some values, or how to assign, or how to print. So we will discuss more functionalities in our coming sessions. Okay, so this basically, this is about the declaration of or assigning of the variables. Okay, and I as I told you, this is the assignment operator. If you want to assign any value to any data type, you need this. If you take this, it will give you error. Okay, or if you take only equal to sign, it will give you error. Okay, so these are system defined things. Similarly, for this is the statement separator, the semicolon. Like if you want to like if you wrote one line but you did not give a separator, it will give you error, syntax error. So this is for statement separator, semicolon. Okay, and we talked about the field menus. Whatever you declare, sorry, symbol menu, whatever you declare, you will find it here. There are some system defined functions and variables which we are going to discuss in our next sessions. Okay, so that's all from my side. You can go through the code, the PDFs. So one is basically about the simple data types and complex data type. There are not much exercises, but you can try with the assigning values to the text and code value, code and decimal fields. So this is all. The exercises are you will not find any exercises. You can try whatever I explain to you. Okay. 4, there are very few exercises. You found many? There are nothing. There are yeah, I used yeah, in the 5 you will find. In the 5, in 4 there is no lab, but we can see if there are some. Yeah, you have tried that. There is no lab actually. Only lab of printing the variables, which I already told. But they have not talked about the assignment operator and the separator, and but this is just printing of the variables in a code unit. Okay, and in next lab we have many exercises. So I'll try to cover few more things tomorrow. Okay, so this is actually why I wrote in code unit, because I can directly run it from the object designer. And why I add it to the page, because I was not able to run it directly from the object designer. And as you can see, I added some action on a page, and this is on action. This is also an event trigger. So when on action, it means when I press, it should run. And run is also an event trigger in a code unit. And if there is nothing on the on run, no code, nothing will happen. Okay, so basically event trigger means it will execute the code on that trigger. Okay, in the I think in the PDF they have mentioned about some code unit, but I can show you. Like if you run code unit 1 dot run, nothing will happen because there is nothing written on this. But they have some function triggers, functions. So we will talk more about in next sessions. Okay, that's all from my side for today. See you guys tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Okay, okay then. Bye bye. Have a good day. Bye.